Hello there, welcome to the Cascade Games Scorekeeper Lessons. As always, I'm your host Jonah. In the last lesson, we put all of the pieces of your tournament together to get it ready to launch. Now this is scorekeeping. Today, we're going to walk through the steps of running an event step by step. Without further ado, let's dive in. Head to the Matches screen and select Match Actions, Match Players/Teams for Round 1 to match your players. Once Melee has finished creating the matches, you'll be able to see the info about who should play who at which table, as well as any random buys which do not require a table. These matches will be automatically published to players. All they'll have to do is check their player controller for the information or printed pairings. Now, for events like pre-release and sealed, if your event requires that players assemble a deck before getting to their matches, we must let them know where to sit for that process. These are not matches, but seedings. The process to generate them is pretty much the same. Please note that seedings are not published automatically, so make sure that you do that. Finally, drafts also require seedings for build, but before that, players must, well, draft. Head to Podded Phases and Generate Pods. The Podded Phases menu will only appear if you have a draft phase. If it does not appear at first, you can try setting a pod size on the Phases screen. Once pods are generated, this is what you'll see. Order within pod indicates how players should sit within the pod for the draft. When passing cards to the left, the player 1 will pass to player 2, who passes to player 3, who passes to player 4, and so on and so forth until player 8 is passing back to player 1. This also means that when you have 8 players seated across from each other at a rectangular table, player 1 is seated opposite 8, 2 is opposite 7, 3 opposite 6, and 4 opposite 5. Once the pairings, seedings, or pods have been published as appropriate, most players should have received them and be on their way to their places. However, we always want to take into consideration that someone may not have data, their phone may have died, or they lost access to their Melee account, for example. For this reason, and some others, including a hard copy backup, we usually print a copy of these pairings on paper. Let's see how to do it. From any screen at the tournament controller, click on the top right side button, Tournament Actions, and choose Paper Printing. From the printing overlay, you'll have access to all the pre-formatted papers that Melee offers. Just choose the ones you'd like to print, send them to the right side column, and print all. This content will open on a different tab in your browser. Then you can send it to a physical printer or save it as a PDF file. Note that most options come with 2 versions, by name and by tables/pods. That's because they have different goals. Players will usually be interested in the versions indexed by name, so they can find their own information. But judges who are responsible for checking who has received their pre-release kits and promos, for example, or someone who's missing from draft, will make better use of a by table or by pod version. Besides the ones discussed above, there are other papers that help both judges and players. Event signs, also known as tournament covers, round signs, and other names, let players know when the round ends. They are posted next to paper pairings, helping players know which of the pairings belong to which event, and may also contain extra information. Event signs are printed, ideally, before the start of the tournament for the day. Remember, these will be filled by hand and must be read from some distance, so big letters and large spaces are recommended for these multi-event forms. Other printouts include brackets for single elimination events, no-show and time extension slips, and match slips. These last ones can be generated through Melee and generally aren't needed. Files for these printouts are available on the Nexus Resources page. While judges post, cut, and distribute the papers we've produced, let's explore how we can interact with Melee. A good first step is configuring what we want to see. Melee is a powerful tool, but we must filter the tons of information it provides so we can better utilize it. Most of the tournament controller's screens have filter and visibility options. They all work similarly, but the context of each menu changes according to what information is being displayed. The most commonly used filter is shown here, Matches Without Results. After applying this filter, Matches with Results will disappear, allowing you to quickly assess how far from ending the round is. Under Visibility and Column Visibility, you can choose what kind of information is important for you to see. Maybe you don't want or need a column showing that match was reported because you've already used a filter to show only unreported matches. Maybe your event has no deck list, so you don't need to display that. These choices can vary widely according to the event characteristics, personal preferences, what device you're using, or what task you're trying to complete at that time. Below are some examples of what a scorekeeper using a computer might choose and what a judge running the end of round team might use on their phone. Although most results will come directly from players, every now and then they'll have to be recorded by you or judges. On the left side of each match, you may click on the cog symbol, then Edit Match Result, or use the pen and paper shortcut Result Entry. The desktop version of this overlay offers quick access to all matches, keyboard hotkeys for quick inserting of results, and additional information about the selected match. You can also drop a player directly from here and insert an intentional draw with a single click. The phone version of this overlay features only large, touch-friendly buttons. Finally, if you need to drop a player but a result has already been submitted, you can do it another way. Just click on the player's name to access the player card overlay, the same one we used for fixed tables, and edit their status to dropped. Remember to save your changes. Players often require assistance, and everything a player usually needs during the tournament can be found on the player controller, their version of the tournament controller. Under the current match heading, a player can find their table and their opponent's name. They can also submit their results here. If they would like to drop, they can just use the first heading, Tournament and Player Details, click on the red button, and confirm. Once every match in a round has a result, you can just click on the next round and match it just like before. Melee will end your tournament automatically once all results for the last round have been submitted, but there may be more to your day. Check with your judge team to see if they would like you to print standings. You remember how to print things, right? Maybe you'll need to fix some results, more on that in the next lesson, or fill some spreadsheets your organizer may need. Be prepared to hand off standings to the tournament organizer or someone who's processing prizes. While they have access to that information through their own tournament controller, they may want a hard copy to reference. But with that done, the event has drawn to a close. Join us in the fourth and final introductory scorekeeping lesson, where we discuss a few common issues and how to resolve them. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want more lessons in your feed, go ahead and subscribe. Join us after new lessons on twitch.tv/SWU_judges for live broadcasts covering the content of these lessons as they're released, and join the Star Wars Unlimited Judge Program Discord to join the community discussion of this and much, much more. As always, good luck and have fun.